housekeeping note. What do you want to say something?
No, I wanted to hit record. I got it. Sorry.
Oh, all right. So quick housekeeping note. So these calls have sort of turned into Q&A calls, which wasn't really the intent of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to make Wednesday's call, at least while the pathway to profits is going on and people have questions and they're doing stuff. Wednesday's call will be Q&A. This call we were going to make it more about teaching or coaching or implementing something, right? So we want to share strategy and build inside a Go High Level on this call, as opposed to just answering your questions. And sometimes not everybody on the call is in the same place. Some of you are further ahead than others, and then you're listening to questions that aren't really relevant to you, and I don't want to waste a lot of people's time. So if you don't have questions during the course of the stuff that we're going over and adding to the pathway to profits, you can skip Wednesday or just catch a replay and hear what other people were asking and see if it's relevant. These are going to be these Sunday sessions are going to be a little bit more dive into the system and actually doing stuff. So that way there's some advancement happening, opposed to, I feel like sometimes we're just answering the same questions Wednesday that we answered Sunday, and maybe somebody else has caught up to that question and asks the same question. It's not anybody's fault. It's just where you guys are in implementing the different things, right? So we're going to start that tonight. I'm going to actually walk you through. Hey, Lonnie, I'm going to walk you through a different chatbot component that you can add into your Go High Level if you don't have Cerebus set up yet, or if you don't want it to be the end all that's answering all your stuff, or if you want to implement a certain strategy that I'm going to show you, this chatbot might work a little bit better. I'm also going to tease a couple things that you're going to get. So because I like to do that, right? So in the cold outreach section, we opened email today. There is a new not classroom, but module, I guess, on email to kick it off. There will be a lot more that we add to this throughout the week this week. So I'm going to show you a little bit in advance of a couple things that you can expect to get this week in that regard, as you start to look at cold email as another outreach tool and how to leverage it and how to make the most of it. And I think you're going to really like what I'm about to show you. So I'm going to share my screen and go into a little bit of all that. Let me get organized here for a second. I'm going to pull up an Instagram account too. Okay. You guys can see this Instagram account?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we know that's working, but I'm not gonna start here. I'm gonna start elsewhere. Okay. So first, before I get into this chatbot, I want to show you guys a couple of workflows that we are working on to give you. So the first one is going to be, and again, these are set up one way. You can pivot them to your own offers, or you can keep them as they are if you're doing anything with school as a place to nurture or to bring clients to because you want to give them the free stuff that they get here, whatever that looks like. But we're working on a cold email campaign for school. So the way this works, and I don't want you to be like thinking you have to copy this down right now. We're going to give you Google Docs with all the email copy. So you're going to be able to just go and build this. You can watch the replay, go step by step, pause it, figure out, okay, here's the trigger, here's not, and kind of build it out. But I want to just give you an idea of what this looks like. So it starts with an initial email, and I'm not going to share the copy yet. I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what's coming. There's a wait component, right? You're waiting for them to reply to this particular email. Do they reply or don't they reply? And then which way do they go, right? So the cool thing is if they reply, you got to jump on that, right? Because they just went from a cold lead to a warm lead if they're replying to your email. So we've got a bunch of different notification methods up in here. Whichever one you want to use, you can, or you can use them all. It'll send a notification to you in Slack. It will send you an email to say, hey, so-and-so just replied to your cold email. And it can text you as well. If you want to set up SMS, you can do that and it can text you. It'll also tag them as a warm lead for email because they now have replied. So they're not ice cold anymore, right? If they don't reply, then they're going to get into a follow-up sequence, right? So they're going to get a follow-up one, wait, see if they reply. If they don't, if they do, they get tagged, same thing, an internal notification. You can build it out the same way as you have this. Second follow-up email, same thing. Tag if they answer. Third email if they don't. So this is a typical drip campaign. On cold email, on completely cold email, which is what this is going to end up being, I do not suggest you go any further than maybe 5 total emails. You're only starting to hurt your own reputation score at that point, right? You're sending one, you're sending follow-up 1, 2, 3. You could leave it and end it right there and maybe move them into, I don't know, a longer drip that's much more spread out. Or you can continue to build this down, follow-up 4, follow-up 5, however far, but I would not go any further than that. Again, we're going to give you this in its standalone video, walking you through all the steps, how to set it up, and give you the email copy this week. That's number 1. Because we're in email, it's going to be a lot of workflow, right? So the second one is what we're calling the world's best cold email sequence. And this particular one is long. It goes on and on and on and on and on. 10 emails total. What I love about this sequence is the psychology, not just the copy is great, but the psychology behind the copy, right? So I will record this and walk you through each individual email and why it is the way it is. I challenge you guys to try this because this is it's unorthodox in certain emails. It's a little different than if you think back to the strategy where we had an email go out that looks like it's coming from your assistant and then you're leaving for the day and you're just checking in, that kind of psychology behind it, but it goes much deeper. So you can expect to get this. Now, again, you can use this for any product you want, wherever you're taking them cold email related, and there are links in some of these emails. So you'll be able to mix in and out of different things that you want to send. Starting with your, free offer or lead magnet straight through paid offers, etc. So you can expect to get both of these this week in this cold outreach email section of the Fall Pathway to Profits, as well as a really cool make.com automation that's going to allow you to say something like this in your first cold email. Hey, could you use more leads in your business? Whatever the personalized first line is, let's forget that. And then say, is it worth 90 seconds? Reply and let me know. And then the automation will send them a personalized video inside of the second email, all through automation. Like you're not sitting down and recording except once. And then the rest of the video is personalized and it's directed to them That's that Loom kind of strategy that we talked about a little bit in the past, but we've built out a make automation to do it completely automated for you. It's pretty awesome. I actually just got it. So I was telling you for this that I was importing it into our account and kind of looking through. And I didn't watch the video. So my make developer will create, we meet and we go, hey, can we build this? Let's map it out. I give him the guidelines. He goes and builds it. And then he sends it to me as a blueprint, just like you guys import the ones that we give you. But then he also sends me a video that like explains it. So I know, okay, what do I have to update in this module? What do I have to update in that? And what does it do? I just jumped right in because I was so excited to see it. And I opened it up and it went all the way across my screen. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. But I need to watch a video because I'm like, I don't even know what half of these modules even do, but it looks really cool. So that will be coming this week also in this next section. This whole week will be cold email. And that will kind of conclude the cold outreach section, and we will move into content creation next week. And then finally into ads. So those are the last two pillars that we want to do over the next, but I want to stay on track and have it just be a week, not have it be 2-3 weeks before we move to the next thing. So it'll be compact this week, and jam-packed. But again, I want you guys to not feel the pressure of everything has to be implemented at once. You have it now. So when you implement it, when you build it, when you get it set up, then it just runs, and you can always come back and do pieces of it or whatever. So don't feel the pressure. Don't put pressure on yourself unnecessarily. All right. So some of you guys have, this is a brand new Go High Level account. This is a second one that I created. And some of you guys have a lot of the automations. They came with the system, and some of you don't. And I don't know really why that is. But this is a really easy one that you can do. And the reason why I wanted to pull up this Instagram account, this is also a brand new Instagram account that we're going to use to drive traffic to school through content. When we get to content, this will have a lot more on it by then, and we'll have some social proof of how some of this stuff works. But the thing that I want to point out on this particular account is these videos that we're creating here all have a call to action to comment a word, right? Like these are very specific content created, very short, around an AI tool. Doesn't really matter what the tool is. We've got a million different AI tools we can go do one around. We create a quick video. The call to action is always to comment something. Comment, in this case, this is a tool that actually takes blurry images and upscales them for you into 4K instantly, like very quick. So you never have any, if you have old photos that are blurry or whatever, it'll fix them. That's what this AI tool does. So if I pull this up, I don't really want to watch myself in the video, but if you look in the caption, it's comment blurry, right? Comment blurry for the link. And it says it a couple times in the caption. They're going to comment blurry, then they're expecting to get something from that, right? Well, I don't want to be worried about checking out my comments all day and seeing who's commenting or who's not. Sometimes the call to action might be to DM me the word whatever, right? You see it both ways. You see either comment the post and this goes for Facebook as well. Comment the post or DM me the word, I don't know, Zoom or whatever. Just like we say here, join now, DM me, blah, blah, blah. That's all part of the bio, right? So we want to cover both instances, whether they're asking us to comment, whether we're asking them to comment or whether we're asking them to DM. I want them in the DM. Right? I don't want to live in my comments all day. I want to be messaging and talking to them and leveraging AI to do some of that too. So the way we do that in Go High Level is we can use, and if you have this already set up, there is a folder here that says comment CTA automation. If you have that, then you have an Instagram comment bot inside of there. You might even have a Facebook one. Mine doesn't for some reason, but I want to show you how this works, because if you don't have Cereba set up and you're not rocking with that, and that has limitations to the number of conversations it can have, then this is a quick and easy way that you can handle that a little differently. Maybe you don't want Cereba to answer everything, or maybe you don't even have Cereba set up yet, but you want something in place like I did, because I started putting this content out and people are going to start commenting it. I don't want to deal with that. I want to be able to have AI deal with that. So the first thing I'll say is you can put both triggers, right? It's not one or the other, it's both. So if someone replies via Instagram DM, meaning maybe my call to action was DM me Zoom or DM me blurry in the case of that one video, then if they do that, the rest of the automation will run. Or I could have it be that they commented the post, right? So this trigger just says, if anybody comments my post on this particular page and it's a published post, move them into the automation. I'm not specifying the post here because my message, and when you see what I do after that, it's generic enough that it'll cover every instance, right? Because I don't want to live in my DMs. I want my DMs to work for me. So maybe some of you have used ManyChat in the past or some other tool like that. This is all built into Go High Level, does all pretty much the same thing, and there's literally no cost associated for you. So what I have it do is I have it add a tag, and now it's saying an engaged lead on Instagram. So that's a tag that I like to put to anybody that is engaging on either way, right? So I know where they're coming from, and that they're engaged, or they engaged with something. And then it's going to send a response to the comment. So there is a action step inside of here where you can select reply and comments, and you can set multiple replies, right? So I have a couple different ones set up here. Check DMs, yo, just sent. You can make these your own. You can add as many responses as you want. It's kind of good to have a few, because if someone new comes onto your profile and is looking at that post and it just says, check your DMs, check your DMs, check your DMs, it looks a little, it's kind of overkill. So it's good to have multiple options, because it'll just cycle through them randomly and pick different ones. And then it'll also like their comment if you check this box. So when they comment your post, it'll automatically like their comment and then send a reply to their comment on the post itself. But you can see where I want to take them. I'm saying check your DMs, or just send it to you. Or because I want to take the conversation out of the comments and into the DMs. Because there's a lot, I can go back and forth a lot easier with them there and really have a genuine conversation potentially there, as opposed to like living in the comments and being back and forth on the post. Like, we don't want to be there, right? So let's get them out of there and get them into our DMs. And then the last step of this is to send them a message, right? So reply to comment via DM. And I have a very simple methodology to this. So I just say, hey there, appreciate the comment on my recent post. Here's the link to check out the AI tool. And then I'm taking all of those people to Creatory's resources page. Okay, so if you don't know what that looks like, I'm going to pull that up in the browser for a second so you can kind of see why we do this. So we have this list of tools, right? And as we add those videos, we add a link to the tool here. So they could come on this page and they go, oh, did I comment? Did I comment for one of these tools? Oh, let me find the tool. Oh, it was Deco. Click it, and now they're on their site. So we are going to just expand this down and down and down and down the page as we add those videos, because we want them to be like, wow, look at all this stuff that's here, right? And stick to the page. They're likely to come back in if they see theirs and they see all these others, they're likely to be like, oh, I want to go check out this one or that one or this one, which is fine. These all open in a separate window. They stay on the site. Maybe they request a free demo for Creatory right here. Maybe they click on this video down here. Maybe they go out to our socials. Who knows? But this is the page that we send them to. So we're not asking them to opt into anything. I'm not grabbing anything yet because I want to lead with value, right? I want to give them something for free, which I've already said in my video here. Check out I'll send you the link for free. The tool is free, whatever. So I don't want to mislead in any way. But that's where we send them, right? So that's the first part of our message, giving them something of value, and more importantly, responding to what they responded to. And then I say, could you use more leads in your business? How about unlimited leads, a free Go High Level account, yada, 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 and the link to school. So they're getting two different links, but I'm moving them from this free sort of resource into potentially joining school where they're going to get all this other great stuff. That's part of my offer, right? So again, that's how this works. Now you could add buttons instead of links like we have here. You could say, here's the link to check out the AI tool and put a button there. Just like if you've ever seen that in ManyChat or in other chat bots back and forth, you can do it as buttons. You can add files. You can do all kinds of different things here. And you can continue to build off of this, right? Like you could have another one here that reaches out, I don't know, 30 minutes later and is like, hey, did you have a chance to check it out? Where I just wanted to follow up and make sure you got the free link to the tool you were looking for to try to keep the engagement going, right? You can build off of this from here. I'm basically just showing you a really simple, easy automation to set up that you can get started so that you can have calls to action inside of your videos that say, do this or do that. Right? And then have AI pick it up from there completely. So this is not at all hard to build. It's really two easy triggers. This one is customer replied. You put a filter, reply channel, Instagram DM. And this one is a comment on a post. You just tell it what page you want in case you have multiple business pages. What's the post type? Publish post. That's it. Very simple. Add a tag, respond with something to try to drive them to their DM, and then this automation will send it to their DM so they can go there and it will already be there. Does that make sense? Mike?
I think you, excuse me, I think you might have just answered it. I was going to ask, how do you get them to the DM?
You do it in
So
this response to the comment.
Okay.
So if they comment the post, whatever your keyword is, or whatever you ask them to comment,
Right.
this step is going to reply to their comment, respond to their comment, like their comment, and then reply. But that's where you're going to try to drive them to the DM. So you're going to say, yo, just sent that to you in your DMs, or check your DMs, or put that in ChatGPT and get 10 variables of that and set them up in here as different ones.
Right.
But you want to create a few different versions of that. But that's going to drive them to then go check their DM. And this is the step that's sending.
That's the DM response right
That's the
there.
DM itself. So
Okay.
all of
All
that
right.
happens almost simultaneously.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks.
They're going to know. And if they have notifications turned on, they're going to already probably know that it's there.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. So just lead with value, but also with the promised thing based on your comment that they gave. And then, you have an upsell opportunity here or a way to sort of move them further into the funnel. And you can create something like this to do that. If your goal is to book appointments, you can tweak this and, make this second part of this be, your Calendly link or your Go High Level calendar link, or interested in booking a call to discuss more, whatever that looks like. If you're trying to book appointments, you can do it that way. Just remember, this is most likely driven off of your content, right? The engagement that's happening on your content. So be careful about being overly aggressive to the appointment without having enough value or trust build up with that person to book that. The other thing I'll say is some of you might be thinking, well, maybe I need a second set of accounts to do this on. That could be a possibility. Like if you're a Posties user and you have Posties going bananas, and now with the engagement that's happening through the automation, you don't want this set up on there, right? Because it's just going to go bonkers it's going to be bot replying to bot, right? It doesn't do you any good. So in our case, we have Posties running on something different, and I created new accounts. So this is a brand new Instagram. Deliberately not really the bio that we're going to end up with, because I discovered this week in a few conversations that not everybody has their bios set up correctly. So we're going to cover that in more detail as we get to content creation. So I'm going to leave mine like this for now, but it's not bad, but this is not what your link should look like. So we'll talk about that later. But I'm using another Go High Level account and another Instagram specifically for school. So it gives us nice separation and we can do some different things. But this is if you're feeling like behind, like, oh, I didn't get into Cereba yet, this is something nice and easy that you can set up. And especially if you've got posts going out. If you're using Creatory and you've got content posting and you have a call to action to comment, you have to manually handle all that right now. So put some automation in there to help you if you're going to encourage engagement so that you don't have to do it. And then you're moving them where you want to move them, right? In the funnel, whether it's to your paid offer, to a free offer, to your lead magnet, to whatever it might be. Does that make sense? Yeah, I see some head nods. All right.
Yep.
So I'll record a video separately, put it into the Fall Pathway to Profits, and I'll go through all of what you just saw, those workflows. We'll give you the emails. We'll give you we'll build this out. I'll build it out from scratch just so you can see where to go to set this up. But this is really easy, especially if you already have, let me just save this, because especially if you already have, this inside of your templates, which some people do and some don't. And I'm not really sure why that is. T, did you have anything?
I don't think so. Pretty much covered it.
So there is a new, I don't even know what you call a page, I guess, inside of the cold outreach section. We opened email up today. There's a tracking tool there. There is a step-by-step guide there with a lot of ChatGPT prompts to help you with cold email. There's a little bit of an overview video by me walking through that page, but a lot more coming this week on cold email. Janelle.
Did you ever do that PDF?
There's a checklist.
Yeah.
It's in the Go High Level Support Classroom. There's a resource document, it's a PDF, and it has links to, we actually got it from two guys that are, in my opinion, probably the best Go High Level teachers on YouTube. They're awesome. And it has every little section of Go High Level in it and links out to their video tutorials on all of those things. So it is really awesome and covers the gamut. It's really good.
So otherwise, just to follow what's in the path to profits, if it's just your stuff.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Until we get through this, what ultimately becomes a free course that everybody can give away, which is this will turn into Pathway to Profits, not Fall Pathway to Profits. So it's evergreen, and then it'll be a free course that you guys can give away. We'll obviously clean it up and make it make sense instead of being kind of all over the place. And then we will go into all the other modules. There'll be a lot of updates to all of those other modules. We've got YouTube stuff, Instagram stuff, all kinds of stuff. More make automations. It's not going to stop. But that's all going to be like at your convenience, what you feel you want to work on. If you want to go work on Instagram, there's going to be there's an Instagram classroom. Go work on everything in there, that kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Sophia.
Hey, when people reply to my emails in my workflows, I can't find the replies anywhere.
Good question. So I am going to show you what you might be missing in your setup.
Yeah, I'm missing something.
Yeah. So let me share my screen again.
Okay.
And let me go to settings and then email services. And then here in the reply and forward settings, you can set up a reply email address where you want that to go. Or if you want any emails that you get to that forwarded to, say, your Gmail or whatever you're checking more often, they can go there. This forward to assigned user is more as if you have staff, handling certain things, but this is really the important one, the reply to.
Okay.
You want to make sure that it has an email address in it.
Okay, so should I use the same email address that I'm sending emails in that box?
It comes down to, can you check it, right? So where are they going to go? They're going to probably go to your GoDaddy account, right? On your Microsoft box.
Yeah, so I can choose a different one.
You could choose a different one, and it could be anyone, because this doesn't affect your sending reputation. We would never tell you to send from a free account like a Gmail or a Yahoo or a AOL, if that's even still a thing, or whatever. We wouldn't say send from those. But reply to doesn't matter.
Okay.
So if you're on your phone and your Gmail is your thing, then have everything go there.
Okay.
Because you could pick up the conversation. At that point, they've replied. So you could email them from Gmail at that point. It wouldn't matter.
Okay. So should I fill in that box and the forwarding address box with the same email, or just fill out
that's what I would suggest, yes.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. Thank you.
And that's
Well,
probably a question that that's probably a lot of you are missing that step. So again, just to clarify what that is, you want to go into your settings and then into email services, which I don't remember where the heck it went, email services, and then reply and forward settings. And these two fields are really important.
Perfect.
Randy, will they see that reply address?
It shows up in the, it's kind of weird where it shows up in the header of the email. They'd have to really, really look for it.
Okay, thanks.
And judging people's attention spans and attention to detail, I doubt they're gonna even care or notice
Okay.
that it's different, right? If it's, I'm using Gmail, a Gmail account to send almost like a Unibox, so to send everything to. So I can manage everything in one place. It's just easier for me that way on my phone than logging into a couple different, especially when you start using multiple domains and your sending increases. It's better to have the replies all come to one place. That's my suggestion in how you set it up.
Agreed.
Catherine.
Randy, the
Okay, so
forwarding address, the
I have,
forwarding address.
I have a different question, but my replies show up right in my contacts.
You will always see it there because
Oh, okay.
Go High Level tracks everything.
Okay.
But if you
My-
want to see it like in a traditional email inbox,
Okay.
you would want to have a reply to here. So that's a good point, Sophia. You can go to the contact that replied and you should see it in conversations.
How do you know which contact replied though?
The little orange bell up at the corner, if you click on it, it tells you all your messages.
This little bell right here will show you all your messages.
Okay, I did not know that.
I only
Upper right corner is your notifications bell.
Yeah.
So if you click that, you'll see everything.
Okay.
But when
And
it
then-
says new message, I ignore those because that's just the chats through Instagram.
Okay.
Correct, which in this count right now, which is why mine shows like that, because all I've been doing is playing with chatbots over here.
So could I email back through Go High Level in that case, like a reply?
Yep, that's what I do.
Okay.
But my question was about Instagram. So with the whole new workflow, it runs through a Facebook page, even though it's Instagram. So I already have one page. Would I need to create a second page to have a second Instagram?
Because you have your, okay, yeah. So you can, because you have a business page tied to an Instagram account, right? That's one kind of marriage, if you will, between the both systems. You can, you cannot currently, although I've heard they're changing this, you cannot currently connect to multiple Instagram accounts in Go High Level. It's a one-to-one. I've heard that they're going to change that you're going to be able to have multiple, but that does present a challenge. So if you want to start something fresh, you would have to create maybe both. And to be honest, I did that. I have a new Facebook business page and a new Instagram account.
Right. So is that new Facebook business page within the same account that has the other business page, or is it a whole?
Yeah, I just created another page.
Oh yeah. So
It will let you pick which page you want to use.
So if I create, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do, because I want to do another something with a different product. And so if I create a new page and a new Instagram, it can run through that and it can go. Okay.
Yep. But you don't have to like go create another Facebook profile just to have another page on it. You can just create a new page.
Another page.
They'll let you create as many pages as you want.
Okay. And then that can get linked to it. And the emails that each account is on doesn't matter. They'll just link to each other.
Correct. Doesn't matter what emails.
Okay. Okay. It's hurting my head to make the connections.
That's all right. Nagesh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was asking the forwarding address has to be our G Suite or Microsoft 365 email, correct?
No. You can forward it anywhere you want. Because forwarding is just sending a copy, right? It's not doing any kind of replying. The only reason why we use a Microsoft 365 or a Google Workspace account is for sending, because the sender reputation matters. Those server reputations matter, but not forwarding. Forwarding just sends the message on to somewhere else that you maybe have more accessibility to.
Okay, now already my domain has been shifted to GoDaddy. Now, apart from registering that domain, I should also have an email purchased from GoDaddy on 365.
Correct. You're going to want to buy a box for that domain on GoDaddy.
Okay.
Unless you're going to use a different mailing platform, something else for mail, but that's the way we have it set up. So we have a domain at GoDaddy and a mailbox at GoDaddy. And then instantly, for everybody that's using our cold email services, we then connect that to instantly to warm it up and keep it warm. Even after you guys start sending, those accounts stay in Instantly AI and continue to get emails sent from them, so that the sender score, reputation score, stays super high. For example, if I go look at Instantly right now, and some of you I know are sending now, and I can tell because maybe it bounces from like 100% to 99 and then back to 100. I can see it fluctuate a little bit. And that's only because maybe one of your emails, for example, not to pick on Catherine, but Catherine, I'm in a sequence that Catherine has. I must have an email somewhere on one of your lists or something. Or we were testing something, I can't remember, but one of them hit the promo tab in my Gmail. And of course, I said this isn't a promo to try to get it out of there, but I think it's because if I had to suggest something for you for your email, I think it's because in your signature line, you have a very long bolded piece. And the email also used the word free. Definitely want to shy away from the word free. It's a big red flag. It landed promo, it didn't land spam, but I'm pretty sure it's because of free. Because some of your other ones have that bolded section in your signature line too, and they landed inbox fine. Just be careful of, even though we're warming up and these have incredibly high sending scores when you guys start, they're still going to hit filters if you use certain words in your copy. So just be careful of that.
Yeah, you're in my 90-day plan. You did that.
Yeah, the 90-day plan, right? So your second, I think it's the follow-up email, has the word free in your description as you're trying to move me into school.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's free go high level or free unlimited leads or whatever. There's something with the word free. Just if you change that, I think you'll be fine.
Is it the subject or the body of the email?
It's in the body where you have like bullet points about school, and one of them has the word free in it.
Changing it now.
Okay. Just a little feedback. If I see things, guys, I will tell you.
What about like misspelling the word like FR33? Is that recommended or no?
No. That worked in 2019. They're way smarter than that now.
Because I still get emails with that kind of stuff. Yeah,
and if they're getting through, it's probably because they're on private servers or they're bypassing, there's a lot of tricks to the trade, but I would not suggest using FRE33 or any of that like crazy stuff.
FR period EE.
Yeah, all that stuff. They've seen it 100 million times by now. So go ahead, Nagash.
Yeah, where should we register this email? Whatever apart from the domain, the email the sending email, where should we register on GHL?
Where should you purchase it?
No, register on GHL on Go High Level. Where see we are adding the
Oh, where do you add it in Go High Level?
yeah.
So there's a video that I did. I'll send you the link to it. There's a post in school about it. I did an updated video on this. It's in your settings. Same place. You're going to go to email services. Why I can't find it, I don't know.
Up.
Oh yeah, right here.
Oh, there's like a lag.
And you're going to end up with something that looks like this, or in Amy's case, you're going to have like 10 of these. Just kidding, Amy. Not really, but yeah. Or like me, you're going to have more than one. So there's a whole video walkthrough on how to get this created. Go High Level prefers that you use a subdomain of the main domain. It doesn't even have to be set up. GoDaddy handles it all, and Go High Level automates this process. It's very easy to set up, but I'll send you the link to the walkthrough on exactly how to do it. But I would definitely warm it up first, especially if you've never sent email from it before. And I think you and I talked about it. It was used for hosting or something. So I would go through the process of allowing us to warm it up for you through Instantly before you go too crazy. And by the way, Catherine, your second one is good to go starting tomorrow.
Randy, this is the place where we are adding the domain. I'm asking about the email.
This is not the domain. This is the email. I'm in email services. You have to set up the domain as a sending domain through this section right here. There's a video walkthrough. I will send you the link.
Okay.
This is not where you add a domain. Where you add a domain, if you want to host something like a funnel or whatever, is actually in this domains. Totally different section. I'm in email services.
Yeah, got it.
So you have to have a dedicated domain right here for email, and then you set these up like this. I have 2. Amy has 27. And she's laughing. I'm just
I do not have 27.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I mean, total all over different places I might, but not with you.
I get it. I'm just kidding.
I think
having
I
a
only
little
have
fun.
10 or 11.
And then when you guys get to 100,000 or more emails going out every month, then we'll tackle this, which is you'll have your own dedicated IP, which is the next level. But you got plenty of time till we get there. But good question, whoever asked and brought me here. That was a good one, because I think that some other people don't necessarily have that understanding. Sophia, right? Where the reply email is and the forwarding. It's tricky. There's a lot of little fields and things, but it's like set it and forget it once you find them and get them set up, but it's tricky. Any other questions?
Randy, you were telling in the last power class that you would be creating a video on how to kickstart the Seriba AI chatbot. Has it been done? I was not able to find out in the school classroom.
How to test it?
No, for testing. No, after testing to start using it.
Seriba, yeah. It's not, the video is not posted yet, but if you've done the 3, that's all that's there so far.
Yeah, that 3 has been done. Yes.
It's coming. It'll drop in there Monday or Tuesday.
Thank you.
the reason it's really not recorded is so I was using my account. Cereba has a brand new campaigns is relatively new in Cereba, and I was kind of a guinea pig testing. And so when I was recording those 3 videos, even I had to stop and like email them, and there was things that weren't right, even though the videos always come out and look like, okay, there was no problem. We just filmed the video. There was all kinds of problems when I was filming them, only because I was going down a road that was brand new for them. They literally just put the release in, and I jumped all over it, and maybe they weren't quite ready. If I had just done what we had done in beta testing, it would have worked fine, but I was pushing the limits a little bit. So my testing didn't even work, or I would have had that other video done right then when I was filming the others.
Is it possible to add multiple chatbot platforms into Go High Level?
Yes.
Okay, because I have UChat account also.
There's WhatsApp. There's a WhatsApp bot. There's a lot of other stuff you can do. There's other channels. I'm just showing Instagram and Facebook right now, but there's other triggers. There's a lot more you can do. There's a lot of AI chatbots. We've got templates for some other chatbots inside there that I haven't even gone through yet, but yeah, you can add multiple for sure.
No, I wanted to basically add UChat also to this CRM.
Yeah, you'll be able to add other things. Kim, go ahead.
One of the questions I had was, are the ad co-op leads, are they clean before they go in or no?
Are they clean? Yeah.
So how do they go? What's your flow that they click on something and they get clean before they go into Go High Level? Because I don't think any of our flows have that in it, does it?
So when we get them, they get dropped through, they run through Million Verifier automation first, and then go through a creatory sequence first. So because remember, they're running off of creatory ads. So they're seeing creatory follow-up emails. They're engaging with those emails, and then we're dropping them to you.
Okay, so what about our stuff? How do we make sure that sorry, anybody that is clicking on something that we are offering, is there a workflow that they can also be cleaned before they go in?
You can do it a couple of different ways. There's a built-in inside a Go High Level that can do it. We could give you a the problem is if they're opting in and you're triggering a workflow right away off a tag, or right away as they get there, you're trusting that they're giving you a good email, right? That's the tricky part, how you get it done beforehand. What we do, because we're running ads, we have a time delay on when that workflow starts. So we're able to clean them first. I use a make.com automation to do that. So we could potentially build something through Make that did that. You guys would just have to, everybody cleans with it. The reason we haven't done that is because we're not forcing everybody to use Million Verifier. We believe in it. We think it's the best cleaner that's out there by far. But, some people use Neverbounce, some people use Everbounce, there's all these different tools, right, that different people use. So, and I'm not affiliated with any of them, including Million Verifier. So I don't care what you use. I'm just suggesting what the best platform is. The challenge is going to be doing it ahead of time. Now, I'll show you something in Go High Level really quick, because everybody can probably benefit from this too. I just don't know in this account whether I have any contacts. Oh, I do. I have T in here. All right, we'll use T. So if and I don't know if this is turned on, but let's try it. So if I'm in T's if I'm in here, I don't have her email. T, what? Just give me one of your emails.
TEE. Or that would already be in there. Yeah, okay.
This is a different account, so it won't matter.
Yeah, so at born number 2 play ventures.
Ventures.com. Right? Okay. So let's see. Let me just make sure. Okay. Because she came through Instagram, I can just DM from here, but let me send an email.
Save.
Huh? Oh yeah, save that too, right? Now I have her email. So if I click on this and I go here, let me just make sure it's not. Okay. We don't have it here. Oh, if we have it.
Well, I for sure would like to know if I'm going to be promoting something. If it means that they have to, there needs to be a delay, or I would want my, especially when we're going into, well, you're scraping, you don't know any of these, right? I would want them to be clean when they come in. So if there's a way to do it, even if it's through Make or Tally or whatever, if there's something that we need to set up.
Well, there's something in the settings where you could choose to clean them, but when I tried to click on it, it wouldn't let me. I think it said something about you had to get admin approval. Yeah, right there on that screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, it gives you an error.
Aha.
It costs extra.
And I didn't know who was in charge of that. Not that I really wanted to do it, but I thought, well, I'd click it anyway.
The other thing is they're going to charge, I don't know
Yeah.
what they charge to do it versus what Million Verify, because you buy credits at Million Verifier, you just have them, right? So,
I think I paid $37 for 10,000 cleans in Million Verifier, so it wasn't that much. I've only used 1,000.
yeah, it's the best investment. If you're going to cold email, it's just cost of business to clean your list. So Kim, let me take that as a to-do. There's a couple different answers to that. And a couple different ways we could go about that. I just want to think about the workflow.
Can you just have a step in the workflow to have that email address checked on Million Verifier?
Good, but you gotta have a connection, right? So my thought when I'm just talking out loud about it. So let me just get into a email workflow so we can. All right, we'll tease again this crazy workflow that we have here, right? So you could have a step here before the first email goes out. That's a webhook that goes out to Million Verifier and verifies the contacts. The thing is going to be, where's the file come from? And how do you know what contact to verify? I will 100% take that as a to-do and get an answer for you.
Okay.
Nagesh has a question in the chat.
Who?
Nagesh? When I'm adding a subdomain, for example, nagesh.jlutech.com into Go High Level, with the email address would be nagesh@jlutech.com.
The subdomain doesn't have to match the email address. You can use, like, my subdomain is randy.creatoryAIpro.com. But my email address is randy@creatoryAIpro.com, right? They're not the same. So subdomain doesn't have to match the actual email address that you're sending from.
The other question I had, did you say that you can do 50 emails a day, or I thought there was a limit to how many emails you could send a day?
My suggestion is when you start at 30 and ramp up to 50. I would not go more than 50. There's people out there that'll tell you can go more than that, but I would not. The other thing that I would do is you can turn on drip mode for your emails. So going back into settings and email services, I think that's where this lives. Where did I see that at? I'll have to find it. Maybe it's in. Not sure where it is. There is a way that you can, so that it doesn't set. So let's say it's going to send out 20 emails or 30 emails. Instead of sending 30 at once, you can set it to drip mode and it'll send out some, then it'll wait 5 minutes, it'll send out some more, it'll wait 10 minutes, it'll send out some more, so that it's not sending in mass all at once.
But still no more than.
Yeah, but still no more than, yeah.
Okay. Then do you give it a max in that drip section? Guess you would, but
no, but I don't think you do.
I think when you add the leads to the workflow, so you add like 30 leads, it gives you the option. It says add all at once or add in drip mode, and you can choose which option you want.
Drip mode, I would always use drip mode.
Okay.
Yeah, you get to add how many you want, and then like what time of, you can even add like what time of day. You can really get specific.
Yeah, you can.
What days of the week, all that kind of
stuff. I actually had somebody show me their setup in their system with that, and they weren't emailing on the weekend, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I don't email on the weekend either.
They were only emailing Monday through Friday, and they were very clear 9 to 5, and that was it. They weren't emailing at night. They weren't emailing. But that's more B2B, right? Like if you're B2C, you can be more flexible, but B2B, nobody's going to be at their office anyway, right?
Yeah, so you want to be more like, you want it to be realistic. So you want to be, why would you be emailing on the weekend if you're trying to be more like a company? So
Exactly. Right. But B2C, you can get away with that a little bit more because all those people are online on the weekends, working, doing their stuff, digital marketers, all that. If that's your niche, you can target that differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking of how we're going to build that out, but Janelle, go ahead.
So these workflows that you just went through, if we don't have them in our account, how can we get them?
We're going to walk you through how to build them because there's no easy way to get it to you directly.
All right.
So in the case of if it's got email copy associated with it, we're going to give you the copy. And we're just going to kind of walk through the steps because we're building a lot of this individually on our own, different. And again, not everybody's going to want everything doesn't match everyone for where they're at or what they're doing. So
So
I'll
just go
always
back.
do it. What's that?
So can you just go back? Where did you find that?
Oh, where I found this?
Just go back a step. Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to see if you have it in there?
Yeah.
It's under, there's a folder called comment call to action automation. I don't think you probably
Nope.
don't.
Yeah, I do have it. Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I'm in, yeah. Yeah.
So if
all
you
right,
click
I'll
into
do it.
that, it should say comment IG bot, and then you can kind of tweak it
Yeah,
based
it
on,
does.
I'll drop
Okay.
in a video walkthrough of that. And some people have a comment Facebook bot here, but not,
Yeah, no, I don't. No.
I don't either. But you can always clone this. Like I could duplicate this workflow just like this and just change it to Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah, and then when you put your channel in, you change to
And then I would
Facebook.
just change my triggers and away I go, right? It's not
So
that
can you
hard.
use your profile for it, or does it have to be a page for Facebook?
Has to be a page. That's a Facebook rule. It's kind of silly. I wish they would get rid of it. But they don't allow third parties to tools. I think they got sued for a lot of money in Europe, and somebody got a hold of a third party tool and did a lot of bad things with it on people's accounts, and there you go. So
Yeah. Okay, cool.
only takes one bad apple, ruins it for everybody. Any other questions? So again, I want to make these actionable Sunday meetings, like going in, here's the thing, here's what you can do, here's the strategy. We're going to talk about sales. We're going to talk about whatever they're going to evolve to. And then use Wednesday. I'll always allow Q&A at the end. I think you got it. You're here, we're together, you got us face to face. It's a chance to get things out of the way. So I'm never going to say no to Q&A, but Wednesday will be very specific Q&A and updates, anything that I have to share. And then this will always try to make a teaching kind of session or a building, off of what we're doing. I've got some interest. It's been an interesting week of hearing struggles with certain things. So those are always good for me because then I can go and fill in the blanks, like social media profiles, for example, and optimization of those profiles and making sure they're set up correctly, and link in bio tools and all this stuff kind of emerged this week as a topic that we need to put some meat behind inside the community, so that you guys are, because if you're doing cold outreach, if you're doing warm outreach, everybody's going to your profiles. If you're posting content, your profile gets looked at 1,000,000 times more than you even think. So it's got to be right? It's got to be optimized. It's got to be done. And there's really good ways to do that. Catherine, you don't even know it, but we were on your profile on a couple coaching, not coaching calls, but quick Zooms that we were having about different things. I used yours as an example. Because it's
amazing, by the way. I don't mind saying it was me, right? It was amazing. And then I went there today to actually create that link tree thing. And I was like, so my options are very minimal, right? And I'm like, she has the paid version. That's why it's so amazing, right? Because the free versions are not that great. Although I didn't notice how much they were. I put the free one out there to get something out there, but yours is amazing, Catherine.
Thank you. I had the free one for a long time. I just upgraded it because I wanted my face on it differently.
Oh, it's very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Classy, yeah.
Yeah, and I've got some good content to put in around like what the phrasing should be, what each line of the bio should be, what your goal should be in each of those lines. And we were kind of saving some of that like to put into the Instagram module, for example, and we would talk about bio optimization. But I think for what all we're doing in here, that's some good stuff that we should drop into the community that will help everybody. So I'm glad you aren't offended, Kim, and came out and said that it was you. But that was a good call, right? Because we had a great example we could go look at, and
so good.
I could have looked at a number of different people's that I know have done a good job with their profiles. But there's always things to learn. Like I'm always listening and trying to find what's working best, especially when it comes to a link in your profile. What worked before doesn't always work anymore, right? Maybe the conversions are down on Linktree for whatever reason. If I knew that, I would share that so that you guys would move in whatever direction you needed to move in. So, but yeah, you'll see more content in the school community about that, especially when we get to content creation, because that drives a lot of profile visits.
Well, you could totally do a module inside just one inside the Instagram one to get us all going. Because you said,
yeah, there's one there. We just haven't dropped the video in there. So yeah, it's ready.
I know, I was checking that out. Like, what is this coming soon?
It's just a placeholder. It's just so you know I haven't forgot. Yeah, I know. There's a lot. You know, I have a whole YouTube strategy to give that's awesome to share. I have a lot of stuff to share. I want to get through this pathway to profits piece, and make sure you guys are moving or have some of these foundational things in place, and then we can go nuts and put all that stuff in there. Any other questions? Yep, hand raiser.
One more little one. So the word free, no matter what context it's in, is bad, because I'm looking at all my emails right now as we're going through this, and I feel I see I see in my emails I write, feel free to blah blah blah. So free in any context.
They do look at the context a little bit, but it's a bot that's looking at that, right? So
I'm taking it out. I'm just curious. I'm like, oh my God, I have so many emails.
Feel free is easy to kind of put different language to.
Well, and I don't like using that. That must have come from Chat GPT, because someone always had in my head a long time ago, don't ever give anyone a free feel. So I don't like to word it that way anyways. I'm skimming them all while we're talking, and I was like, oh, there it is again. There it is again.
Yeah, just be careful. I mean, I was going to message you when I saw it, but then I knew we'd see each other. So
yep.
It just landed promo. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I changed it. I changed them all, but I got a million emails.
But I did like the email. I'm like, oh, she's following up on my 90-day action plan. I suck. I haven't done what I'm supposed to do. I got to get on it. Other questions? All right.
I am hanging out here just for.
Yeah, I got you. Do me a favor. Send me in Messenger your funnel link to that ties to that workflow.
Okay.
Nagesh, you have a question?
Yeah, the Instagram account which we have to connect with Go High Level, should it be a business account or a personal account? Is it okay?
I'm sorry?
The Instagram account, is it a personal profile account or a business account?
So you're going to tie it ties to your Facebook page, which is a business page. So it doesn't have to, it has to be a business Instagram for Creatory, for example, for a tool like that. I don't, the only thing that gets limited is what music you can use, right? Like it's more the content creation side that business accounts kind of are limited, but I would suggest business across the board.
No, because there are a lot of restrictions to create a business account. You should have GST or all these things.
They ask you a lot of questions that you don't have to answer. Right? Like they don't need to know half of what they ask you. They always say, do you want to give us this, give us that? I check the box. You're not getting any of my personal information. It's just I think they try to make it seem harder to set up or whatever, but they don't verify anything. They don't go check your LLC or, there's none of that stuff that happens. It's pretty straightforward. The only restrictions, again, there's some content creation restrictions and there's some things that creators or personal profiles get when they're creating reels and stuff that you don't get on business accounts. But
for Creatory, do we have a YouTube channel where it explains about the usage of the Creatory AI Pro?
we have a channel, yeah. I don't know how much we have posted on there at the moment, but we have a channel. Not much, right, T? We didn't. YouTube has not been my area of focus, but that's about to change. I'm about to spend a lot of time on YouTube. Because YouTube, I'm going to teach you guys a good YouTube strategy, YouTube to Instagram to fun, as a overall strategy. So I got a lot of work to do on YouTube, frankly. I'm going to create an evergreen webinar for Creatory that's going to blow the socks off of anybody that goes and watches it. And that's going to be kind of where you can send people. And it's going to answer every question they're going to have. But if you had a client live and wanted to talk about it, I could get on with anybody. And that goes for anybody. If I'm available and you need somebody to hop on to explain it or to go into detail or share a bunch of other accounts besides your own to show them just what it can do, I'm happy to do that.
Sure.
All right. I'm going to let you guys go. We will drop the replay. Kim, you can hang out. We'll try to fix this little issue. And have a good week ahead, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
you guys too.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.